This is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. I have fucking had it today. All I had to do was wake up, one thought into my day, and I was pissed off about fucking feminists. You know, and I thought, geez, how do I want to explain it today? Where the fuck am I going to go with this one? How can I say something in a different way? Because a lot of the things that we all talk about, it's the same problem. It's not women. It's not men. It's an ideology. It's an ideology. In the movie Ben-Hur, the bad guy, right? The tribunal. His thing was, how do you stop an idea? Right? It's an idea. It's an ideology. It's faceless. It's nameless. A lot like we all reject abusive government, but government is like an idea with guns, and you can't get to it. But while we're working with movie analogies and movie references, let's take the movie Inglourious Bastards. What a great flick Quentin Tarantino did. And it showed a small group of men who went in to combat the Nazis in Germany. And Lieutenant Aldo Raines played marvelously well, right? He was like a caricature of somebody. But it was Brad Pitt playing Lieutenant Aldo Raines. And he's talking about the Nazis and what you do to the Nazis. He said, I didn't fly across America, parachute into Italy to teach lessons to Nazis on humanity. He had this great fucking accent. He says, Nazis need to be destroyed, right? He wanted to scalp the Nazis. When they got done fighting them, they scalped them. They didn't take prisoners. They terrorized and killed. That is, they destroyed the enemy, right? And even those that appeared to be Nazi turncoats or surrendered, he would carve the swastika on their head. Even on Colonel Hans Landa at the end, who helped them destroy Hitler and kill his administration, he still got the punishment because Colonel Hans Landa, played marvelously well by Christoph, he was still a Nazi. So any feminazi, what is our mission, right? What is our mission? It's not to be nice to them. It's not to convert them. We can't teach feminazis lessons in humanity. They need to be destroyed. They need to be stopped in their fucking tracks right where they're at and destroyed. The swastika on the forehead that they gave the Nazis, that they returned to show the enemy and terrorize them. I don't want to carve letters on anybody, but feminists need to be labeled so they can be identified. That is what that is about. Symbolically identifying the enemy. Feminazis need to be destroyed. And who's going to do it? Other women? The type of women that we would approve of, the very feminine ones, they won't fucking do it because their feminine nature causes them to be quiet. It's not going to be manginas and simps, because they're manginas, simps, and even white knights. They're not going to do anything. They're afraid of feminists. They will not stand up to them. They won't say anything. They'll just agree and shake their head. The same way everybody that was conquered by the Nazis just bowed the fucking head, right? They bent the knee to the Nazis. Nazis need to be destroyed. Same with feminazis. They need to be destroyed. You don't do it nicely, civilly, you fucking destroy them. How did Aldo Raines and his crew do it? They would ambush them. Take a fucking lesson, man. Let reality be guided by art, right? Art is oftentimes a reflection of reality, and reality is a reflection of art. But we're battling an ideology. It's got real players out here. Real players. Real people, right? Men and women. as MGTOW, as a man going my own way and making my own choice that is not influenced by women. No siree, not influenced by feminists or any other political ideology. And I even reject forms of MGTOW that tell me I have to believe something or accept some form of philosophical basis. Mine is about being a man. When I want to decide what kind of MGTOW I am, what kind of man I am, I reach between my legs, grab a handful of fucking nuts, right? And I go, that's right, I have the penis, I'm the man, I have the cock, right? This is what I feel like doing, this is what I should be doing. Feminazis need to be destroyed. They just need to be fucking stopped. You can't, let's go Terminator. They can't be reasoned with. You can't bargain with them. They will not stop until every last man is dead. That's what Terminator feminazis do. They will not quit. You can't bargain with them. You can't reason with them. They need to be destroyed. Fuck! That's where we're at with these creatures. You know, I call them vile, brass brassiere wearing, makeup pied zombies. And they don't want to eat brains. They want to suck blood. Right? They're attracted to the smell of money, these gold digging whores. And they need to be destroyed. That is it. I love the character from Inglourious Basterds, Stiglitz, right? He's quiet, he's cold, but he cannot stand Gestapo. Right? When he sees Gestapo, he's gotta fucking kill him. Who are the Gestapo, right? They're like the SS on steroids, if that's even believable, right? He goes after the highest of the high, Gestapo officers. You know, the SS were Hitler's goon squads of killers. These are like super feminists, right? These are the bitches that you'll see on YouTube, on the news, on TV, that write newspaper articles and have blogs. But, you know, I sound like I hate women. I don't. I hate feminazis, and they need to be destroyed, okay? Now, why? Why would I fucking hate them? Let them be. Let them run around and do this and do that, right? That's like saying, that's Neville Chamberlain pacifying Hitler. While we're on the World War II analogy, why the fuck did we do that? Well, you know, it's none of our business. Let them do what they do. But look what Stalin did, Mao did, Pol Pot, Hitler. Every tyrant kills everybody and everything in their path for their ideology and their selfishness. Their quest and thirst for conquest, right? Feminists, through their ideology, have not just taken out a few men. They haven't hurt just the bad ones. They have destroyed our very culture. When you think of what the Nazis did, what the cons did, you know, if you want to look at it from a military perspective and say they were pretty effective, they kicked some ass, that's one thing. But when you look at the real destruction, the path of destruction, you could even talk about what happened to the Native Americans in the United States when the U.S. Army and other forces were sent in to just remove them, to kill them, to slaughter them, and push them off their land. That is what feminists have done. They have taken their page from real military history and conquest. They've taken a page from that. And they've applied it to men. They destroyed and villainized masculinity. They've destroyed and villainized the family, which includes children and women. They've gone after and wiped our culture off the map. They've labeled it as sacrilege. They've identified it as garbage that needs to be buried and set on fire and then pissed on. That is what feminists have done. Every time an English king swept north into Scotland, they burned, raped, and pillaged everything and destroyed the records of families that were kept in the Bibles and churches for the purpose of denying people evidence of their lineage and what they are and who they are. That is what feminists do. They are destroying manhood, destroying every vestige of proof of the goodness of what comes from masculinity, denying it and rewriting it. They burn, try and bury, and piss all over men. And like every great army that destroys a nation, they forget who they are. And it takes generations, if ever, to remember and recall what and who they are. And instead, and until that regime is destroyed, they are the hand puppets of those vicious conquering armies. And right now, the vicious conquering armies are feminists. Feminism is the ideology, and it needs to be destroyed. And that means you take out the foot soldiers, you take out the leaders intellectually. This is an information war. This is a war of ideology, not a war of weapons, not a war of real violence, even though real violence is done to men with the courts. That is your battleground if you want to go fight in the courts. The battleground is when you hold the door and you get yelled at, or when you're treated like shit. The battleground is between your ears. It's in your chest, your heart. You need to find out where the battle is being fought and fight it. You first start by kicking them off of your land, that is between your ears and in your heart. And then you can look outside of your body and outside of your mind and see what feminism is doing. See what it's done to your friends, your family, your culture, your work environment. They're everywhere. The Nazis need to be destroyed. What the fuck are you going to do about it, MGTOW? Right? Do what you can, what you're comfortable with. If you are not comfortable taking these fucking hags on, then just do what you can and what you're able. Right? I am very comfortable engaging these bitches. Every fucking day. I see what no-alts do. Think I don't see that? There are unicorns, but they don't come out. They don't talk. They're like Bigfoot, man. You get a glimpse of them, they're gone. You'll never see them because they don't make themselves known. Right? They're very rare. They're elusive. They're like leprechauns. You see one, you look away, you look back, they're gone. But feminazis, they're in your face. Right? They're mad, they're furious, they're loud, they're brash. They're a pain in the ass, and they don't go away. They need to be destroyed. Right? And if I were Lieutenant Aldo Raines, I'd go to every MGTOW out there and say, I want 100 Nazi scalps. Right? I want to know. That's what the scalp was evidence of, the enemy's death. I want to know that you guys are destroying feminazis. Put them in their place. Destroy their ideology intellectually. Show them that they're wrong. Again and again and again. I have feminazis that know who I am, and when they see me, they put their head down. That is bowing the head. That is submitting. It's an act of submission. They bow their head. Some just look away. Some pretend they don't see me. Some bow their head. Some turn and walk away. Fuck yeah. Get the fuck out of my way. Shut your pie hole, your cock holster, your fucking cum-sucking goblin lips. Right? That's what feminazis are. And when you stop thinking of them as women, because they ain't, and start treating them like the enemies, you'll want to destroy them. When you think about all the shit they've done to you, and to you, whether directly or indirectly, they need to be destroyed. Feminazis are horrible people. Horrible. My son talks with a friend, a mutual friend of ours. I almost said his fucking name. That would have been bad. He is an author. He writes books. He's also a psychologist. And he is up to his frickin' eyeballs in the transgender bullshit. The confusion that is laid on children, on young men and women. How they're being indoctrinated and bullied into accepting an ideology of sexual identity and being told that them being themselves is worse. It's not good. It's not accepted. And they need to accept something that is foreign to them, alien to them. They're like little feminazi brown coats, brown shirts, whatever the fuck the Hitler's youth had. Hitler youth, brown shirts, and they're going to lead the next generation. That needs to be destroyed right now. And I don't mean going out and destroying children, but destroying feminazis, destroying the ideology now, before it takes out an entire generation of human beings. They've taken it to the next fucking level. It's not like my generation where they're like, oh, you know, girls are the equal, you got to be nice to them, this and that, while they're fucking pissing all over us. It's worse now. They're totally destroying not only the male sex, but now the female, right? You can identify as a boy or a girl. They've completely destroyed the identity of men. Not only our ability to say anything or act like men, but now they're destroying the very sexual organs and what you call them. I have the cock. I'm a man. I'm free. I am MGTOW. I'm an American. And I have God-given rights, and I'm gonna fucking use them because feminazis need to be destroyed. Subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Share it with friends. Share it with other men. Wake the fuck up. Stop apologizing for being a man and go out and destroy feminazis. Thank you guys. MGTOW is freedom. Out. Semper Fi.